The Cultural Revolution was defined by upheaval. Students turning on teachers, books set ablaze, history rewritten overnight. Mao's war on the past left a nation unmoored, its traditions shattered, its people caught between loyalty and survival. Borders. They're meant to divide, mark where one world ends and another begins. But for my family, borders have always been more like doorways. Thresholds to new lives, new identities. My great-grandfather didn't have the luxury of choosing his border. In the late 1960s, as the Cultural Revolution was tightening its grip on China, he packed what little he could carry and left southern China. He wasn't alone. Thousands of others, like him, crossed the South China Sea looking for safety, opportunity, anything but what they were running from. His journey took him to Cuba, but like communist China, economic opportunities were scarce and political uncertainty loomed just as large. He found work in a Chinese restaurant, scraping by until he had saved enough to flee once more, this time to Venezuela. There, he established an import-export business for Chinese goods, finally earning enough to bring over my grandmother and mother. For my mother, the transition was abrupt, a country she had never seen, a language she had never spoken. But like so many Chinese immigrants in Latin America, my great-grandfather, grandmother, and mother adapted. In Venezuela, my mother spoke Cantonese at home and Spanish at school, living between the traditions of her father's homeland and her new home. But the thing about crossing one border is that it rarely stops there. By the time my mother was coming of age, Venezuela was shifting, both politically and economically. And just like her grandfather, she faced a choice: stay or leave. She left. Another border crossed, this time to Puerto Rico. And that's where I was born. A Puerto Rican-born Chinese facing yet another set of lines, cultural, linguistic, and personal. I grew up straddling words. I spoke Chinese and Spanish at home, and learned English and Spanish in school. I moved fluidly between cultures that once felt foreign to my family. But it was my turn to cross a border, a cultural and physical one. Leaving Puerto Rico for New York to attend high school, I encountered a new identity, the New Yorker. New Yorkers were Puerto Ricans raised in New York, embodying a cultural blend shaped by migration, resilience, and reinvention. Neither fully Puerto Rican nor entirely American, they navigate a space between the island and the mainland, fusing Spanish and English, salsa and hip-hop, tradition and urban grit. Born from waves of migration in the mid-20th century, New Yorker identity is rooted in both struggle and pride, expressed through music, poetry, and activism. My active participation in the New Yorker community revealed something profound. Borders aren't just lines on a map. They shape the way people see you, the languages you carry, and the choices that define your identity. But they are also bridges, connections between cultures, histories, and the many ways of belonging. So maybe I was never meant to stay within one. Maybe none of us are. Because in the end, my family's story, 4 generations across Latin America and Asia, isn't just about moving. It's about becoming.